Alright, this is Boxing with the Truth, and this is the Truth on April 11th, 2015. And today we got Robert Bravo Brant. How you doing today?
I'm doing really well. Camp's going really great. I'm still in Dallas, Texas. I'm preparing to head back on the 15th.
Okay, and for the boxing fans that don't know, the reason that Rob's in camp is he actually has a fight on April 17th on CBS Championship Boxing. It's going to be at Grand Casino, Hinkley, Minnesota. We're really happy to have him here local in Minnesota. This is actually going to be Rob's debut, TV debut. We're excited about that. It's going to be
CBS Sports Network. Very excited.
Yep, it's going to be at 9 Central Time. Is that what it is? The fights actually...
Yeah, 9 p.m. Central Time, yes, sir.
But the fights actually start at 7, so if you guys are going to go to the fights, be there by 7. The TV viewing starts at 9.
There's some really good, entertaining undercard fights. So I'm a little bummed out that I won't be able to watch all of them, but I will definitely try to check out the ones that I can.
And you are actually the first TV fight, correct?
I believe so, yes.
Okay, and you actually are facing Dionisio Miranda, who actually is
Colombian.
He's a Colombian fighter, but he fights out of Miami. Who's
I believe he's moved into the Miami area.
But his record now, it's actually impressive. It's 22 wins with 19 knockouts, 10 losses with 2 draws.
He's a very experienced guy.
Okay, and let's talk about yours. Now, you're actually age 24. You guys are fighting at middleweight. You are out of St. Paul, Minnesota.
Yes, sir.
And your pro record is actually 14 with 0 losses with 8 knockouts.
Yes, sir.
But now this is actually going to be probably, I mean, based on records and guys that, you know, have fought each other, this is probably going to be your toughest opponent to date, right?
Definitely, I would say so. I mean, I will definitely, I can't speak ill on Marcus Upshot, but that was a really good fight as well. But I think this guy's just another step up.
Okay, and here's my question for you. I know every fighter's humble when it comes to this. This guy's probably going to bring more power than any your opponent that you've ever had based on his knockout percentage, correct?
Yes.
Okay, but here's my thing, is you are a very elusive fighter. You're a very technical boxer. So whether this guy's got power or not, he has to get to you in order to use it.
Absolutely.
Now,
he's not going to bring anything that's going to surprise. You know, he's a pretty straightforward fighter. He does pretty basic movements. Loves the jab to the body. He's kind of one of the guys that he's not hard to find. So if you get greedy, you can walk in one of those hard shots. If you get greedy and continue to try to land the pot shots, he'll chuck that right hand, and that's how he gets guys out of there.
Okay, so it sounds like you've got
truly like an all or nothing fighter. You know, I mean, either he wins by knockout or loses by knockout. Which is really surprising to me because the only guy that actually that beat him and went the distance with him was Peter Quillen, which was really surprising to me because I know Peter Quillen, who I'm a fan of, is a huge puncher.
I was actually going to bring that up, that he did go to distance with Peter Quillen for the fans. He actually has fought Donovan George. He has fought Marco Antonio Rubio, and he has fought Darnell Boone, just for the fans so they recognize some of the names that this guy's actually fought.
Darnell Boone, the world's biggest spoiler.
Ain't that the truth against... Adonis Stevenson, for the fans that don't know, he actually did he knock him out or TKO him in the first? Was it?
I think he TKO'd him, but it could have been a knockout. I'm pretty sure it was a TKO.
Yeah, and I did an interview with him too, so yeah, he was pretty impressed with that. But I mean, how can you not be?
Absolutely.
Okay, but like I want to bring up the fact, because some fans, now I hear that you're a humble guy. Now I've spoken with you several times. I've been at a few of your fights and taken pictures. Some fans think you're cocky. Some fans just think it's confidence. Is it a little of both, or is it just that you're confident?
I'm really confident in my abilities as an athlete, as far as say cocky. I'm pretty regular. I mean, in the ring, the only time you really kind of see that side of me. I definitely wouldn't go as far as say cocky, but everybody's opinion is the fan favorite. It's a stick. Whether they pay to see me lose or pay to see me win, I'm excited that they're watching boxing. It's a really good time for boxing right now. So I mean, like I said, I'm pretty content with however the fans feel, as long as they're in seats. But of course, I'm not the type of guy that likes to be disliked. I don't think I'm a cocky guy, but there's been situations where I've gone a little over the top. Like I said, the only incident I can really think of is by Todd Holden, because I had a fight with a 5-2 fighter from the local area. Which I didn't enjoy the person, that he was at all. So I got a little in his head.
Okay, well, no, I just, like I said, some people might read you wrong when you're in the ring, and like I said, I've heard outside the ring that you're actually a pretty humble guy, that you just like to, put on a good show for the fans, and sometimes you get a little creative in there when you already know you're ahead and you're winning and you showboat a little, but a lot of fighters do that, especially when they already know that, their opponent just shouldn't even be in there sometimes to begin with.
Absolutely, which, this is a situation where, this guy is, more has earned his right to be in there more than anybody else. It's a great fight on paper, so you're not going to see any showboating. I got to get my job done. He's the type of guy, if you get caught showboating, he will put you to sleep.
And, now that you bring that up, does that worry you at all, that this guy's got power like he does?
Even a guy that doesn't have a high knockout percentage, it's a contact sport where they're aiming for your head. He punch the wrong punch at the right time will put you up, put you down. So am I nervous more than anybody else? I wouldn't say so. I'm well prepared for everything he has to bring. So I'm not going to say that his knockout percentage means anything to me, because you got to look at it. He's still almost 10 fights in, was fighting debuters in Colombia. So great knockout percentage. Suspect opponents. But then again, I can't really talk about. I've had some suspect opponents in my time too. It took me a while to kind of grow as a professional. So I've taken a few fights. I probably was a little. I outmatched the person by quite a bit. But this is one of those kind of situations where I know that he is dangerous, but I'm not going to put him on the same level as Peter Quillen, even though he went the distance with him. And he actually, from what I heard, he did hurt Peter Quillen when he fought him, but not the same level.
Okay.
Kind of puncher, I should say that.
But, you are a thinker in the ring. You can tell when you fight, and I've said this same thing to Caleb, and you and Caleb Truex actually train together, so maybe that's where a little bit rubs off on each other, I don't know, but you can see both of you guys have similarities where you kind of just move around, kind of like a cat, kind of stealthy, and look for mistakes. You don't waste a lot of punches, and then you capitalize on mistakes and get your opponents out of there.
Yeah, it's always a game plan. It doesn't always go that way, but it's definitely a game plan. I definitely like to go into a fight, swinging wild and looking for a knockout. That's how mistakes happen. So I'm more of an authentic. I had about 124 amateur fights, and I think at the time you kind of learn how to box and kind of stay on the outside and take what's given, not necessarily try to force things.
Well, speaking of your amateurs, you were actually a member of the U.S. national boxing team and a 6-time amateur champion, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
But you actually started off playing football. So how did you get involved in boxing?
Boxing's kind of one of those things that I was always interested in. It's one of those things that ever crossed over on TV. I watched it. It was always really interesting. It takes a lot of guts to hop in the ring and fight another man for a set amount of time. Where it's just you, the guy, and it's just you, your opponent, and a referee, and they're making sure everything stays fair. It's just something always interested me. So when I turned 16 years old, I got my driver's license, and that's when I started going to the gym consistently. I started going really often. I had a man named Bob Mitchell. He was a buddy of mine from high school. His father. He told me a lot about his boxing experience when I was 15. I started, kind of hanging out with him a lot, and he showed me a lot of things. We used to box in his garage, and he kind of showed me the basics, and I started boxing, lightly, here and there, go to the gym here and there when I was 15, and when I was 16, I got a driver's license. I don't think I ever turned back. I think from that point on, I was at the gym every day. First person in, last person out. A lot of people don't understand, that's what it takes. Sometimes God-given talent isn't everything. When you get to a certain level of the sport, everybody's got talent. Majority of guys can take a punch. A lot of people are fast. So it's, you got to put in that extra work. That's why I take a lot of time. I come down to Texas and I work with one of the best coaches that I've ever seen in my life in order to kind of elevate my game.
Okay, speaking of elevating your game, are you doing anything in this training camp than you've normally done to fight this guy?
Are you saying have I done anything different?
Yeah.
Or, I can't really say there's anything too different. We just build off of every camp that I've had here. We just continue to build off of, and pick up where we left off, and continue to like I said, a lot of it's tight defense and things like that, but a lot of it just kind of elevate the skill set. So I'm not going to say it's anything different, but everything gets a little more complex.
Okay. Do you have any like superstitions or rituals or habits that you do before a fight?
You know, not really. Which is really, boxing it's one of those sports boxing is one of those sports that's full of a lot of people have rituals and pre-fight things that they do. I don't have anything consistently that I really do. I don't eat the exact same thing before weigh-ins or anything like that. I trust in the coaches and the knowledge that I have and the work that I put in for the fight. It's kind of the ritual would probably be a hard training camp every time.
Is there anything that something that your fans don't know about you?
I'm a pretty open book. If you want to get a little specific, I can definitely, I wouldn't say there's anything that jumps out that the fans should know. If there's anything you want to ask, I definitely am.
No, I mean, is there just like outside the ring? Because most fans only see you maybe sparring in the gym, or they see you 30 minutes in the ring. Is there
I work at a gym in Egan, named Minnesota Top. It's called Minnesota Top Team, and I run a lot of kids classes, and it's something I really enjoy doing. I enjoy working with the young up and coming boxers. We have an amateur team, which the guys are, we have a great group of talented guys, and it's really kind of outside of boxing. My passion is kind of working with kids.
So, is that what are you talking about? Since 2010, you've been being a boxing coach. Is that what you're talking about?
I'm talking about I've been a coach for, like I said, even when I was in the gym still boxing, I'd always work with, the other guys and things like that. But in particular, the Minnesota Top Team gym, where we have an amateur team and a great staff and things like that. That's kind of where I kind of find a passion for working with the youth and working with the kids.
Okay. Now, I read somewhere that when your boxing career is over, or maybe during your boxing career, something about college and like elementary education degree.
That was actually something that I wanted to do right before boxing. Before I actually won the U.S. National Championships in 2009 and was a member of the national team. Elementary education was what I wanted to get into. And like I said, I do enjoy working with kids, but my focus right now is boxing. Like I said, I'm 24 years old. It's kind of the time to chase dreams. I don't have any kids and no debt, so it's just right now it's kind of the time for me to chase the dreams that I have before I start working on molding other people's dreams.
Okay, well, I know you're a student in the game, and like the way you talk about your opponents, I can tell that you study them and things like that. But is there anything, an activity that you enjoy doing that has nothing to do with the sport of boxing?
Oh man, that's pretty. I'm kind of a movie buff, but like I said, I do invest a great amount of time into boxing, just because it's such a short window that you have to be successful. That I've decided to dedicate my entire life to it. So, when I'm not in the gym and things like that, I do enjoy going to see movies and stuff like that. I'm kind of one of those guys. Okay.
Speaking of the gym, like we brought up earlier, you actually do train with Caleb Truex, who's actually a huge Minnesota fighter as well.
Absolutely.
The three names when I think of Minnesota fighters personally, I think of Robert Brant, Caleb Truex, and Jamal James. Those are the three that come off the top of my head. So, you guys are all at your...
You can't forget about Javante Starks as well.
Okay, I'm sorry. Javante Starks too. But then we can start going down the list. But those are the ones that pop up right away. And and I'll throw Cericio Ford out there too as well. I have to, because I'm friends with him, and I'll get a phone call later if I don't. But anyway, no, Caleb, I know you guys.
Just go ahead and clear that up really quick too. Cericio Ford as a person, I thoroughly enjoy Cericio Ford. He's actually a really good man. As an athlete, he beat me in the amateurs. So it's kind of one of those grudges that I'll hold until I get back. Great guy though.
Well, actually, I'm gonna bring up his name in a minute as soon as I get done with Caleb. So, actually, you and Caleb Truex trained together. Caleb actually has a fight for a world title against Danny Jacobs on April 24th down in Chicago. Have you talked to him about his fight? Given him any advice? Has he given you any advice on your fight?
Caleb has, every fight that I've had, he'll come into the back room, or, we'll speak, and he always gives me really good sound advice. He's one of those guys that, these guys are, you're on a different level than some of these guys, and you have to stack that way. Don't let them get any deeper than they need to. You have to impose your will a little bit, and he's, like I said, I really look up to him. He's a really, really good man. I really want him to go ahead and bring this title back to Minnesota. I can't tell when's the last. I don't even know the last time that Minnesota's had a world title.
It might be Will Grigsby.
Will Grigsby, or it might have been Mike Edgin. I believe Mike Edgin had an IBF or something other.
Okay, I know that I talked to Caleb, and we figured out that the last time we've had a middleweight in his division where a world title was his Dowd. I think the guy's name Mike Dowd from St. Paul back in like between 1913 and 1923. So it's been a long time since
I actually did not know that.
Yep, it's been a long time since a middleweight has brought a world title back to Minnesota. So
well, this time, he's been given the opportunity, earned the opportunity, hasn't been given anything. He's earned the opportunity, so this is his time to shine.
Are you gonna be at his fight?
Yeah, I'm definitely planning on it. Not only that I'm going to be in full health and everything like that, my brother and myself are going to, drive down and go watch him fight.
Does Caleb planning on being at yours, or will he already be down in Chicago?
I'm not too sure. I don't fully expect it. If he's got something really big himself coming up. So I don't really expect him to be there, but it would be great if he was.
Okay.
But he's got his world championship coming up. Everything's got to come. That's got to go first. So I definitely won't be hurt if he doesn't watch it, but I'm sure he'll watch it, on television if he doesn't. I'm not at the venue.
Okay, now back to Dionisio Fort, and I also want to just throw the name Andy Coley in there. And the only reason I want to bring him up is because as the fans see you stepping up, now you're debuting on TV, you're stepping up against an opponent, like I said, with a lot of power. You're obviously moving forward, possibly away from Minnesota guys. Are we not going to ever see a Robert Brant versus Dionisio Fort or versus Andy Coley fight? Are those off the table?
I don't think they're off the table, personally. I can't put all my focus towards, like I said, I've been focusing on Miranda right now, but there's always talks, but I'm about the action. I'm the one that's willing to sign the contract right away. So both good guys, but like I said, it's business. So I understand what their point of views are as well. If they don't want to take it.
All right. Well, do you got anything to say to your fans why they should come out to this fight on April 17th?
I just want to say, I've worked really hard. I'm planning on representing Minnesota well.
All right. All right, fans, April 17th on CBS Championship Boxing from Grand Casino, Hinkley, Minnesota, 9 Central Time. His TV debut, you don't want to miss it. National fans, Robert Brant will be making his debut TV appearance against Dionisio Miranda. And he always puts on a good show. So please tune in. It will be probably the first TV fight. Like Robert Brant said, there is undercard fights that are going to be good as well. So if you can attend the show, please attend. If not, definitely tune in to CBS because there's 2 good main events. And Robert Brant's going to start off the show. Do you want to send a message to Miranda?
I just hope that he trained really well, trained really hard, and we're prepared to give the fans what they want to say.
All right, and with that, the truth has spoken.